Have you ever wondered what you'd tell your younger self if you could go back in time? Well, let's use this week's YouTube Art School episode to do just that. Here are 6 tips that I would tell younger me, hoping that it will help future you. Quickly, class is starting! Alright, class is in session. Pay attention and pay the class fee. And let's get right into it. Here are those 6 art tips in no particular order, and in the background I'll be playing a time-lapse of a painting from younger me to fit the theme of the video. So, early in life, if you're anything like me, aka you loved art, you probably drew a lot. When you do a lot of something, you tend to get pretty good at it, or at least better than the average, which might make some of your friends or some adults around you tell you how talented you are. Obviously, that's not talent you have, isn't it? It's much more likely simple interest in art that resulted in extra practice compared to others. As a young person though, hearing others compliment how talented you are is almost inevitably going to get to your head. It certainly did to me. You grow up thinking it's in your blood, and eventually you'll just likely end up practicing less, thinking talented people just get it naturally. That it's more of a superpower that you have and others don't. But don't fool yourself. You're not special. The best thing you can do is think of those people calling you talented as insulting towards your hard work. Don't ever let it get to your head, or those so-called not talented people will pass you by as a result of their continued hard work, and well, you'll just be left realizing much later in life that this talent that you thought you had was instead just love for art that led you to practicing it more. Since you stopped doing that, thinking that you were special, you now have a lot of catching up to do. Big yikes moment. On the other side of the spectrum though, you might instead be facing some resistance to your pursuit of the arts. Your friends and family might actually be completely against the idea, thinking being an artist means a life of poverty. Maybe one of your teachers early in life told you that you didn't have the talent for it and you'd be best to give up and not waste your time because there's no money in art unless you're world famous. Don't listen to ignorant people. The art industry is full of money waiting for you to grab it. And it's a fast-growing industry. There are constantly new ways for artists to earn money. When I started to study art when I was younger, well, what I'm doing right now didn't even exist as a job, so you can bet that there are going to be many more new opportunities in the next decades. Many new opportunities to earn money that don't even exist yet. And just to give you an idea, not that this is the average, but I was making low 6 figures as an artist working for Blizzard. Definitely not the income of a starving artist. Don't let others dictate your own future. When you're older and all these people are out of your life, trust me, the last thing you want is regretting not following your passion. Having a passion in life is an incredibly rare thing, and it just happens that this passion can pay the bills and more. Listen to people who know what they're talking about. Listen to me. You can do this. You got this. Another piece of nonsense you might have heard from your parents, I know I sure did, is that you need a degree to work. That you need to go to college or university like everybody else and get a formal education. Well, not if you're planning to be an artist. I learned this while I was wasting my time studying sciences in college, when I started making money coloring comic books, which is my first job. And making good money for a kid for sure, and it just kept getting better from there. It quickly became very clear that to make money doing art, you just gotta get good at doing art and advertising yourself. That's it. This stuff, you learn it by doing it. I'm just repeating official US Census numbers here, but over 85% of all working artists in the US who live off of their art alone don't have a degree. If my math is right, that's a majority. So what matters then? Well, your portfolio. Your portfolio alone. Maybe your personality too if you ever plan to work on a team. So work on putting together the best portfolio. Seek to learn the skills that will allow you to do that. There are plenty of resources online now, and I happen to have a complete art education program that you might want to look into. It's December, which means it's the start of the biggest sale I'll have all year. Check the link to the program in the video description to learn more. The sale will be running until the end of the year, and it covers all my courses, including the art school program, of course. And by the way, if you're curious how I made my way into the art industry, check my career path video here in the top right corner of the screen or down in the video description. Alright, the next advice might be more of a general life advice, but it still definitely applies to artists. Everything you do now will either make things easier or harder for future you. Might seem obvious, but if you choose the easy path when you're younger, if you just play a ton of games or waste time on your phone making TikTok videos, that's all time that future you will have to catch up on when you're older and have all new life responsibilities that you're not thinking about right now. Study now. Practice now, don't procrastinate too much. If your late teens and 20s are easy, your 30s and beyond will be hard. Set yourself up for success in the future. Take the harder path now. I'm not saying just completely put aside anything fun, of course, but be very mindful of how you spend your time. Be mature about it. Always invest some time towards your future if you don't want to end up with nothing going on for yourself later in life. You can't take that time back, unfortunately. Don't screw over future you. Set that person up for success. Now, this next advice is just about health. Take good care of yourself if you want to be doing art long term. Just like an athlete, if you get injured in college, that could mean the end of your future professional career. In art, just the same. If you burn out, that could be the end of your future as an artist. I say if, but it's almost guaranteed you will, just like me. Just make sure that your burnouts, just like a sports injury, are not major career-ending ones. To soften the blow, stay in good physical shape, take on good habits like not working too intensely for long stretches of time without taking breaks, rest your hands and eyes often while making art, take on different hobbies, see other people. If you're in poor health, so will your long-term career. Make changes now. Do it! Finally, the last piece of advice. Everybody that you grew up with as an artist, all your peers if you do go to school, all the members of the forums that you visit or the Discord server that you hang out on, everybody will give up at some point. Well, almost everybody. Be the one who doesn't give up. There's no sprint in art. It's a marathon that you gotta pace yourself for. I'll give you one example from my time at Blizzard. When I joined the Overwatch team in its super early days, we were interviewing artists to grow the art team, and there was this one applicant that I thought was cool, but not quite up to the level in terms of skills. I personally voted against hiring him, but the rest of the team leaned towards taking a chance with him, so he joined us after all. Well, that same guy ended up as the lead artist and then the principal artist on the team some years later. Now he's one of the best in the industry. I don't believe I was wrong in gauging his skill level at the time, but I didn't account for how much he would improve by always pushing and never giving up. With time and dedication, his skills kept getting better, and now he's at the top of the food chain. So instead of trying to get better than others, aim to outlast them. Be the last one standing. And that's gonna be it for this week's class. Hope that was helpful. Let me know down in the comments. As usual, I read them all. Now, since you've watched until the end, you get freebies. You can go ahead and download one of my free custom brush packs full of brushes that I use all the time with the link in the video description. Use them responsibly. And now smash that subscribe button if you haven't already to catch future classes and hit the notification.